Göbekli Tepe is a Neolithic site erected around the year 9000 BCE. The German archaeologist Klaus Schmidt discovered the site in 1994 after spending several years excavating the surrounding areas. You see, the area around Göbekli Tepe is actually home to dozens of other tells, or hills, that have been excavated. In archaeology, tells are huge, artificial mounds composed of consecutive debris left by several different settlements. The deeper you dig into a tell, the older the artifacts you will find. Although many other tells had been excavated in southeastern Turkey and the Levant, Göbekli Tepe stood out to Klaus. As he kept digging, he stumbled across some truly immense pillars. Here is a life-size replica of the monoliths, so you get an idea. Up to 7 meters tall, 10 metric tons. They were made of limestone and had to be carved out of a quarry 300 meters away from the site. Shaping and transporting these pillars must have been an enormous task, requiring the cooperation of dozens of people. The monoliths are engraved with depictions of various desert critters like scorpions, serpents, foxes, boars, ducks, wild sheep, and vultures. But what makes Göbekli Tepe so special is that it was not built by people who practiced agriculture. It was built by hunter-gatherers. Making complex monuments like Göbekli Tepe takes incredible amounts of effort and coordination from a large community. That's why ancient agricultural communities were able to pull off incredible feats of monument building, like the ziggurats of Babylon and the pyramids of Giza, because the adoption of agriculture led to a surplus of food, which led to an explosion in populations, which led to complex civilizations that could organize such mega projects. Hunter-gatherer communities were much smaller, and they did not have a surplus of food available to them, so the entire community had to devote most of their time to hunting animals and gathering wild plants. With hunter-gatherer societies, building complex structures was simply not a priority, nor was it even possible, or so we thought. Because the thing is, there is no evidence of early agriculture found anywhere near Göbekli Tepe. Although the area was home to several species of wild grains like einkorn, wheat, and barley, these crops would be domesticated much later than the construction of the site. This discovery completely baffled archaeologists back in the 1990s, showing that the adoption of agriculture was not a prerequisite to the building of complex monuments, as we previously thought.
Well, the sight of Göbekli Tepe really did send shockwaves through the whole world of early prehistory, because we'd never before known or imagined even that simple hunter-gatherers could produce such spectacular monumental structures.
This brings up some fascinating questions. Did the adoption of agriculture lead to complex social structures? Or was it the other way around? Did the formation of complex social structures lead to the adoption of agriculture? Now let's return to the age of the site. Göbekli Tepe is extremely old. I cannot stress this enough. Carbon dating places the site at around 9000 BCE. Do you know Stonehenge, the most famous monolith site in England? Well, Göbekli Tepe is at least 5,000 years older than Stonehenge. This site is so old that pottery had not even been invented in the region yet, and pottery is usually one of the oldest archaeological remains we have of most ancient civilizations. But the question still remains, why? Why did these ancient hunter-gatherers decide to spend hours of valuable time and energy in the construction of Göbekli Tepe? Klaus Schmidt believed the site served as a temple of sorts, a site of pilgrimage frequented by the communities around the hill. But some of Klaus's colleagues have challenged this temple hypothesis, arguing that Göbekli Tepe might have served as a residential community of sorts instead of a proper temple, or possibly something in between. The truth is, no one knows for certain why Göbekli Tepe was built. But what we do know is that this site was incredibly important to these ancient communities, and that it represents a very unique moment in our history as a species. Here we see a snapshot of time when hunter-gatherer communities were gradually adopting more sedentary lifestyles with more complex social structures, and would later adopt the agricultural innovations of their neighbors down south, abandoning their old nomadic lifestyle forever. Göbekli Tepe eventually declined in importance as communities embraced agriculture and started covering the beautiful monoliths with dirt and rubbish. It would remain completely hidden, a lonely hill baked under the sun, only to be discovered 11,500 years later by an unsuspecting German.